a big topic over the last couple of days. I am pivoting here a little bit because it makes sense to cover now, and you just kind of mentioned it, Ewok, talking about whales and buying. With whales and selling. So we have talked a lot about BankX. A lot of people have, as far as them as an entity with their algorithmic silver stable coin. Just the other day, it's funny. We had a clip from our stream last week pop up on the channel just the other day. And we were talking about why identifying BankX, knowing that BankX is out there and how much hex they have to apparently sell, and all this stuff is a good thing. Like just that awareness, because on a lot of these other blockchains, you don't know. Like it just kind of hits you in the face. There are token unlocks that are scheduled and come out. So, excuse me, if you're in Solana, Polygon Matic, Arbitrum, Optimism, some of these other things, you're going to get dumped on kind of without even knowing it. There's just going to be like huge dumps from VC, venture capitalists that got into prices that you never even saw before. We don't have that here. We bought the lows literally on Pulse Chain that we all had a chance to do. But people get butthurt about BankX and the fact that they have 700 million eHEX and are looking to sell it apparently and all these things. Knowing them and being able to identify them is already something that we have in our advantage. But we saw the news the other day that they did put up a sell wall, it looks like, with about half of their remaining stacks, so 350 million eHEX for sale. I don't, and you'll be able to help me with this a little bit, Ewok, but I know it was between 1 and 2 cents. I don't know if it was just like different orders at different times, I'm assuming. I don't know. Axis Alive, I think, kind of broke the news on this or was looking at the on-chain stuff. So fill in the blanks for me a little bit as far as like how much they definitely have sitting out there on limit orders for sale, what the prices might be, and what are they exactly planning here? We'll get into like more details, but what do you make of this? Because we've talked about for a while, like just get them out. Like anybody that has, is not planning on holding long term, if we know they're not going to, the sooner the better, just get them out of here. But what do you make of this, and what other details can you add to them putting up these cells here?
Yeah, so they did an approval for 350 million hex to sell, because when you provide liquidity, you have to, obviously give it permission to sell your tokens when you set a limit order, because it kind of holds them in play. What they did, I think what I saw was there was 5 different ranges that they had set, each one being a single-sided liquidity, basically between the range of 1 cent and I think it was 2.5 cents or so. So they broke that up into, like 70 million each, on each range, essentially. So as the price moves up, you're eating through the liquidity. You're basically buying it from them, instead of like a market buy. So in turn, what that does is it doesn't dump the price. So they could just do one big sell. Not only would they sell it all at once, but they would get hit with a very large slippage,
Right.
as they bought, because the buy orders are just not enough to fill that kind of quantity at this point. So they did it the smart way. They also did it in a way that doesn't wreck the price. Now, there are people on both sides say, man, I just wish they would have dumped it and got rid of it and been gone. And in that sense, you would have gotten a hell of a deal, probably, because it could have put it way down to that point where I said we never saw that level again.
Right.
It could have put it into that range. I do think it would have been bought up extremely quickly. And the only reason I say that is because of what happened today, but we'll go there in a minute. So they took it, they broke it up into 5 different ranges. So as the price goes up, it's going to have to get bought through. Now, here's the one thing that I'm not sure of, is if the majority of hex is tied to Ethereum's price, and Ethereum happens to rocket, it will pull hex up with it, right? Is there any chance that it bypasses any of these sell walls because of the price of Ethereum? That I don't know, and it's an interesting question to pose to somebody like Axis would probably know best. But do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
just the liquidity and yeah, the fact that it is on ETH and if because that's the way it's always gone. I mean, for altcoins on Ethereum, like when Ethereum starts to fly, which right now it's doing all right. I mean, it's over
right,
3K now. If we see it go to like 3,500, push to 4K, I mean, now people are going to be talking about new all time highs for Ethereum because that
exactly.
was what 4,800 or something,
Yep,
5K. I
yep.
remember because I bought it like an idiot. But yeah, people are going to be starting to talk about that, and yeah, I'm with you. I mean, like I think no matter what, because those huge sell walls are going to be there. I mean, you can't just overcome that easily. But I think that, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, if we are seeing ETH do that, I think that it would be an easier time of it anyway.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
just think it would bypass it because the value
Mhm.
instantly is transferred over to everything that it's tied to. And because those walls are so not thin in volume, but thin in price,
Mhm.
it's only going to 2.5 cents. If something magically makes Hex go to 3 cents, it bypasses their entire sell wall and
Mhm.
never gets filled. And I think that is a possibility. I do think Mr. Chink said it too, and I was just going to say this. I think they're going to regret it. I think, but maybe they have other intentions for the money that they want to get out of it, whatever it might be. But either way, they're doing it without hurting the price, which like I said, some people are happy, some people are not. I could go either way with it. It doesn't matter. But we did talk about this and tell them to set single sided orders so that if they want it out and they listened. So apparently they're paying attention to what's going on. Now, with what happened today on MEXC, which is a centralized exchange,
Mhm.
somebody went in there and sold 25, 26 million in one order and essentially tanked the price. But luckily there was a whale or somebody sitting over there and it bought right back up within the same candle, essentially.
I didn't see that.
So yeah, it dipped pretty heavily and then it actually went back up and then it evened itself back out to the regular price. The liquidity is very thin over there. There is not much at all. So,
Mhm.
when you sell 26 million hex, it's going to hurt it bad. So the guy took quite a bit of slippage over there as well. So,
Yeah.
good to see it got bought right back up. That was nice to see. And, we carry on.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, it's a positive that we even know who this entity is, and yeah, who knows as far as like, will they regret it? I mean, maybe they have plans for like a copper, algorithmic stable coin or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes, but yeah, it is what it is. It's going to be there. It's not going to go away. So you might as well just welcome it and get it done sooner rather than later. I would much
Yeah.
rather have that.
Well, the other
Um,
thing I saw too was a lot of people that were requesting that the God Whale buy it back. Um,
right.
at these prices, I'm not sure what level he sacrificed at. I don't know those statistics. I don't know when that sacrifice was or what the price was. But it might be a good offer on his side if he still believes in it, which I think he does. He still holds the pulse chain side. He still holds quite a bit. Maybe he's not looking to increase his position at this time, but I've seen a lot of people suggest that maybe he should just eat up that wall and be done. But that
Mhm.
only puts them at halfway out. I want them to kind of suffer a little bit.
Yeah.
People that put
Masochist.
yeah, people that put that much liquidity up at one time, maybe they're not in a hurry. Maybe they are. I don't know. But if it takes a while to eat through it, they could get impatient, pull it, and do something different. So I think that's our next kind of experiment to see how are they going to react. Are they going to be patient? Are they going to let it fill, or are they going to get impatient and pull it and just dump? So
Mhm.
there is still a chance of that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something that we're going to continue to hear about. I mean, just bottom line. But for the people that it is stressing out, I mean, I would literally have the total opposite reaction. Like you have identified who it is, you know who it is, you know how much they have. I mean, these are all variables that you just would not have on another blockchain. Like, there's just no way you would be able to see this stuff.
Yeah.
So, or this specific of stuff anyway. So, yeah, not worried about it. And we'll continue to buy the dip if it does dip whenever that happens. So,